Yo, how's it going, guys? It's Richie Unicorn Caller here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We are back with a brand new video. Just a quick little summary about how to basically get energy elixirs since, well, you know, the whole Grubgrarian fiasco, and probably a whole lot more changes that will happen in the future. But I wanted to show you guys some ways that I get energy elixirs without Grubguardian, without using bots or downloading anything. This literally is in the game, and all you have to do is basically work for it, right? So first things first, you can go on the wiki. Obviously, it will say Grubguardian, but we already know about that fiasco. You can get them from the Pet Promenade events when you reach 500 points, and also the seasonal Scroll of Fortune events, as well as some raid bosses. So I'll go over each method right now. So whenever we had a Pet Promenade, I'll do a news video about it, and I always recommend people to do it. You basically gotta get up to this 500 point reward, which is super easy. It's not really that difficult, and you get a nice little energy elixir. You can do this on whichever character you want, and you can transfer over those energy elixirs if you really wanted to. The activities that you can do for the Pet Promenade whenever it is available is stuff like winning a pet game, feeding your pet a pet snack, and hatching a pet, and then feeding a pet snack for happiness, which is also super easy. You can also do the Pet Derby one, but I usually just skip out on that one because I'm too lazy. But if you manage to do this pretty much every day, you can get to this pretty easily. You can also get some other pretty cool elixirs as well, such as like a next hatch free elixir, and also the Peru potion, which resets your hatch timer. And of course the energy elixir, and I believe this one is the hatching elixir as well. So you can get a lot from the Pet Promenade. I highly recommend it. If you're worried about energy, I highly recommend investing in a little bit of energy gear, especially if you're someone that does a lot of fishing or a lot of gardening. I also recommend playing pet games with baby pets or adult pets that you can hatch with, so that the gold for it costs a little bit less than hatching with ultra pets. Now, the next way that you can get energy elixirs is obviously through the Scroll of Fortunes. This is always going to be available in the Scroll of Fortune. I believe it is on the second page. Yeah, this is where you can get an energy elixir at tier 6, right? And you can level up the Scroll of Fortune by basically just doing all of the events, so such as the Pet Promenade or the Portal of Peril even. So you can do those types of events, and you'll get those Scroll of Fortune points right there. And then this is a free reward. You don't need to buy the premium pass for the Scroll of Fortune at all just to get this energy elixir. As of now, I say that as of now because we don't know if KI is going to start doing some drastic changes with energy elixirs going forward. But yeah, there's just a free reward that you get at tier 6 on the second page of the Scroll of Fortune. So again, that's why it's always important to do those little events. So those are the two like in-game ways that pretty much anyone can do. The next way, obviously not really recommended, but you can actually get them as a drop from secret raid bosses. These are raid bosses that go from the Voracious Void raid, the Polaris raid, the Azteca raid, the Red Herring, also from the Gaslit Conspiracy raid, and all of these secret bosses will basically have a chance to drop a couple of elixirs. Usually it's like a triple animus elixir or an energy elixir. I mean, they don't really drop anything too crazy, but you know, the fact that you do get, you know, a free elixir out of it is really, really good. And again, these are within raids, which you guys know. I know a lot of you guys don't go raiding, but if you are ever in a guild that does decide to do some raids, I highly recommend checking out some of these little side bosses or secret bosses that you can do optionally. It's not, you know, you don't have to do them in a raid to win a raid. But these are the specific bosses that would drop those elixirs as well. Another example would be the Voice of Death. I remember farming him, and we basically just kept getting like triple animus elixir and energy elixirs, and it was actually a pretty good farm. But again, that is all optional. You do not have to do these secret bosses in the raid, and depending on what your guild wants to do specifically, you probably won't even engage in these secret bosses to begin with, because probably the main thing is that, you know, you just kind of want to get a raid win. You don't really want to worry about all these side bosses, but those are other ways that you could potentially get energy elixirs as well. So that, ladies and gentlemen, are some of the ways to get energy elixirs within the game itself without Grub Guardian. So that includes the Scroll of Fortunes, the Pet Promenade events, and also those secret bosses that we just talked about for some of the raids, or basically all of the raids. So yeah, make sure to check that out if you are interested. And let me know if you also have another way to get energy elixir. And obviously the main way is just to buy them in the crown shop, which, to be fair, you can technically get even more energy elixirs by doing 10 trivias per day. That should give you 100, and then do another 10 the next day. That should give you 200 crowns, and then do a 50 the third day, and that should give you like 250 crowns in total to basically buy an energy elixir from the crown shop. But I know that a lot of people don't really like doing trivias. There's also the earn crowns feature, which honestly just does not work. I mean, I haven't used it in like months, or what feels like a year. It worked for like a month, and it just doesn't work anymore. But yeah, if you ever get free crowns also from the 12 days of the spiral event as well, when they give you that little free code option, that's also another way. Maybe you'll get like a free 250 crowns, and then, you know, maybe you can buy yourself some energy elixirs, you know, depending on how many free crowns you get. But yeah, that is pretty much some ways to get some energy elixirs. I highly recommend the Pet Promenade. It usually comes around a lot frequently. So again, just make sure to check that out. I wouldn't recommend the raid ones because, you know, the raid side bosses can be a little tricky. And also, when you're doing the Pet Promenade, those points will go over to the Scroll of Fortune as well. So you basically kind of get like 2 energy elixirs in a sense, you know, legit way. And then of course you can do the trivias if you really want some energy elixirs. You can just do the trivia for basically, you know, a couple of days. You can do a maximum of 10 trivias per day, and that will basically give you 10 crowns each time you're doing one of the trivia questionnaires. But yeah, there are, you know, ways you can get, you know, energy elixirs if you really need it. Let me know what you guys think is a better way. Obviously, with the whole Grub Guardian situation, you know, unfortunate that it happened, but you know, there are other ways to get energy elixirs. So again, let me know in the comments on what you guys think is a better way to get energy elixirs. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.